I hate the revisionist history around Drake. And I understand, like, I'm not saying like Drake got to be your favorite artist. You got to say Drake the greatest rapper ever. What? None of that shit. And my wife does this from time to time. She's like, "Oh, well, Drake's just a pop star." No, we made Drake a pop star because we were out there bumping Take Care. We was out there bumping Nothing Was the Same. We was listening to views. Like, they're like, "Oh, this nigga just like, he's just a superstar. He's just too big now." It's like, nigga, we made him this. Like,
They
let's not.
love you as like they I can't remember the name of the Wale song off of um what the fuck was his last Seinfeld? What was his last Seinfeld album? The album about nothing. I can't remember
Yeah,
I can't remember the song he had on there, but it was just talking about like, you know, they when you up and coming and things like that, everybody love you. They want you to get big, but they don't want you to get too big. Cause now like when everybody fuck with you, they don't wanna, you got people that just don't want to be like everybody else. So it's like you gonna go out of your way. You're gonna go out of your way not to fuck with a nigga just because you know everybody fuck with the nigga.
absolutely. And it's like, this nigga's in this position because of us. He's the most streamed rap artist of the last decade, or the last damn near the last 2 decades, because of us. And yes, he took that and he put out records that he liked or he wanted to make, or if he just say he was going mainstream. All these niggas want a mainstream hit. Trust me. Like, we just talked about like I guarantee you Kendrick loves the fact he got a song with Taylor Swift. That probably does real good for his bank account. I promise you. And it don't mean you any less of like a true rapper or any of this shit. I ain't gonna say 50's hardest record rapping is in the club, but I guarantee you 50 loves every time in the club he gets a check for that shit. He loves that record more than he does 99% of his catalog. That's just how it is. So,
But like, I mean, come on, my nigga. Like, I don't think it's not like when you at the top, like when you get as high up as Drake is like, regardless of what y'all niggas think, everybody want to be in that spot.
oh, absolutely.
Regardless of what y'all think, regardless of what niggas say, but it's like everybody can't do it. And it's like, I know you would love to think that your favorite artist, because he can rap fast, he can change his voice when he rapping, and you know, use his voice inflections and all of that shit. I know y'all think because they do all of that and you feel like they're a great rapper that they could be there if they wanted to, but it ain't the case. Like, if that was the case, if everybody could do it, everybody would do it.
Okay, One Dance apparently is Drake's top selling song.
But even to talk about that, like, I think that's kind of the tricky part too, when it comes like everybody talk about like artistry when it comes to Kendrick, but I'm like, a nigga like Drake to be able to touch all these different genres, that if that's not artistry, then I don't know what is.
No, that's a fact.
Like, but y'all, but because y'all like the content that Kendrick is rapping about more, or you know what y'all deem to be substance or whatever the case is like, yeah, that make y'all say artistry.
No, 1,000%.
But not the fact that like this nigga could literally go into any genre and make a #1 hit.
That's a fact. And
you could probably go off his like top songs at some point. Out of his top songs, they were probably the biggest song in the world at some point. So like he got a dance hall song that was probably the biggest song at one point. You know, he got One Dance that was the biggest thing. He got God's Plan, Hotline Bling. You got some of his rap shit, whether it's features or whether it's own shit, that was the hottest shit smoking at one point. So like a nigga being able to dip in and out of all these different genres, that ain't like artistry. That ain't an artist.
nah, 1,000% is. And it's like, that is funny to me because like niggas are hypocrites. Because niggas will say like, oh, Drake, like this, that, and third. It's like, oh, he don't really even make rap music. And I just want to ask him, was like, nigga, are you aware of like Michael Jackson is maybe the most beloved artist of all time? And you want to sit there and really like break down Mike's songs? Because like Mike started in what was considered like funk music or some jazz, and they were mostly like funk, which then turned into pop, which then turned into, we now recognize pop as what Mike did, because it was just these records that are above everybody else. And it's like,
but that's the problem. Like when they call you a pop artist, it's just when they
popular.
That's it. Because like when they call a rapper like a pop star or an R&B singer a pop star, it's only because they only call you that when everybody love your shit. Like when it's just the niggas that love your shit. Like when Drake is doing the shit and it's only us that's fucking with his shit. It was just rap. But then when he become like a worldwide star and all of this shit, now it's pop.
Yeah. Wayne was called a rock star before he ever did the fucking rock album. And that was, guess why? Because that nigga put out a milli and everybody loved that shit. It wasn't just like niggas loved that shit. It wasn't just rappers loved that shit. It was like when Carter 3 dropped, like,
they call Wayne a rock star because of how he was dressing. Like they ain't give a fuck about like the music this nigga was dropping. Drake a pop star because he bigger than everybody outside of fucking Taylor Swift and maybe Adele.
yeah, no, I ain't going at Adele.
Shout
Yo,
out to Adele.